Hey, what's up, Life Force? How you doing? Pro tips on streaming. I mean, microphone's a big thing. You want to make sure that you get those settings correct. But at the end of the day, it's just consistency, man. It's just being consistent, not giving up, even if nobody's watching you, you know. Because eventually people find you, they'll help you out, they'll understand if the quality's not great, they'll stick with you. So, yeah, just consistency, and you gotta enjoy it. If it's work, then it's not gonna work.
This is the MS Titan Artificial Intelligence, Module 3476. Critical systems failure encountered.
I'm using a dynamic, unfortunately. I should be using condenser, but I'm using the Yeti, Blue? Yeah, the Yeti Blue.
Emergency distress beacon activated. Please stand by. Escape on power level now at 4%. Please regroup with other possible survivors at this time.
Hey, what's up, Nero? Oh, right on, man. Yeah, I use filters in OBS. So I use like noise gate to where if it's under a certain amount of decibels or over, it shuts the closes the window, shuts the mic off automatically, stuff like that. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. He's gotten really good. Eight of these. I've not seen Dune yet. Is that still in theaters or is that on streaming yet? Hey, Donk, what's up, man? We don't have a theater here. It's a starter modular CV. Basically, I'm building something for a solo let's play. Something that I can use on my own that's gonna do everything I want it to do in beginning to mid game without having to get into a different CV, basically. Hey, what's up, Zombie? Yeah, it would be cool. Yeah, I mean, really have to stay within one system. It really isn't impossible. It's just kind of. I mean, you could conceivably do it. I think that get all the different stuff starter systems.
It's a raid!
Hey, Fred popping into the raid. Thank you, sir. Had a good stream. Yeah, we really do, dude. Pissed me off about this exact build, actually. That's why I stopped building it. And it kind of changed up the whole front. I'm still not happy with this. I'm gonna do. I don't know, it's annoying. Hey, what's up, Andy? There's definitely some similar.
Hello, fella.
Hey, what's up? You can hear me?
Yeah, sorry, you're like super quiet. Turn you up. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Ground going on this. You been up to?
I have been playing Star Citizen.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. Like you've, I don't know. I think you've grown a little bit as far as your tolerance level of.
it's been pretty good the last couple of days. To be fair, the first couple of days that I was playing, it was awful, but it has got better.
That's good. What all have you been doing?
Mostly just mining. Flew a few ships around for the IAE. Not many though, because I don't really do much in the way of combat, so I didn't really get much of a chance to kind of test anything good out.
Right.
But yeah, I did the whole mining, like the whole gameplay loop. So went out, mined some stuff, came back, refined it. I did about 4 refining jobs. Managed to time them all so they finished around the same time. Loaded it into a cargo ship, moved it to Area 18, and then I had to like get off and go into the main city part. Sold it, and now I'm just going back to Arco 1 where I was mining. But yeah, it was pretty good. It's not as profitable as I would have hoped, but I think a lot of that is just need practice working
Right.
out. And I got a bit unlucky. Like yesterday, I mined for quite a while, and I only found Quantanium, which from talking to Zovia, if I can get my head around mining that, is pretty profitable.
Yeah, it's
I'm
pretty
a little
volatile,
bit,
right? You gotta like.
yeah, I'm a little bit scared of it. I'm think my game's jumpy enough as it is without carrying bombs around. But yeah, it was pretty good. I did a little bit on Lyra, on the moon, sorry, and then did a couple of runs in the asteroid belt, which is a lot easier to find now. It's been good. It's been alright.
Oh, okay. So hold on. So you've been mining in orbit.
Yeah, yeah. So that actually works now, which is great. And yeah, good.
Oh, that's cool. Because that's what I wanted to do. That was the whole thing with getting the mole and everything, and like co-op mining mission.
Yeah, I definitely think there's I was watching a video yesterday. Some guy called, what was his name? Captain Burke. Not someone I'd ever watched before. But I was watching a PvP competition, and he was one of the pilots, so I thought I'd check him out. And he did a couple of shows called "What do you even do in Star Citizen right now?" And he was saying that the multi crew gameplay has got a lot better. Like now, even just getting in a small multi crew ship is way more powerful than it used to be. So running combat missions in multi role ships is very viable. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we gotta do that then. Because I mean, there's. Well, I guess all I have is the Skyrunner and the Corsair's not out yet, right? I got an Andromeda on one.
So yeah, like the Andromeda, and there's the kind of regular variant of that, which is apparently pretty
Taurus or
pretty
whatever.
good. No, the Taurus is the cargo one. I can't remember what the regular one's called, but supposedly it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that new Argo ship.
So I flew it. It's got a fat ass. It's like, but it doesn't feel horrible. It feels like a big cargo ship. So it's pretty nice. It's got an amazing interior. I just don't think it really it doesn't have enough cargo space. I think it needs one more container. If it could fit 4 rather than 3, I think it'd be really solid.
Neil. Neil's
Does it still
asking
run
us
at 9 FPS? It does if you've got like 8 gig of RAM and you're running it on a regular hard drive, yeah.
It just came out with a big update, Neil. So I mean, I'm not gonna like blow smoke up your ass. It's the persistence is. What else is it? Oh, the server threading or whatever. Big thing.
No, so they've got this crash protection now, so that if you crash, if you crash due to a 30k or some other sort of in-game bug, in theory, if you wake up, your ship should be wherever you wake up, and it still has its cargo. So if you're doing cargo runs, you shouldn't, in theory, lose it. However, I don't think it's 100%, because it's mostly due to it only works if you get disconnected. Like if you get out of your cockpit, trip over the seat, fall, smash your face, and die, because the game's like that. It doesn't help. Like I did a cargo run, and to get boxes, and walked out of the place I was picking up the box, fell down some stairs, died. So my ship's now on the planet. I woke up in hospital. Doesn't help there. But it's definitely it definitely seems to be a step in the right direction. They seem to be trying to make it a bit more viable. But yeah, there's still huge bugs, obviously.
So okay, so what is there to do? Cause it's funny, cause like I'll watch other streamers, right? Like I have watched a couple of streamers for Star Citizen. They're like doing things. They're like, oh, we're gonna go do this mission from blah 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 blah. And I'm like, what like there's like things to do in this game. Like what is there to do?
No, there is a lot.
Right.
The difficulty is I'll be honest, most of it is difficult to do on your own. But there's bounty hunting missions. There are search and rescue missions. There's find different things. There's mining. I mean, if you're talking about non-scripted gameplay, mining's the only real complete loop. But there was the events that they were doing as well. I can't remember. Was it the Nine Tails event? And there was another one as well. $400 million. They're almost at 5. They've had a bunch of private investment as well.
But you know, like I don't know, man. There's certain things that like I wouldn't want. You know, like the pressure of that, it's got to be insane. To have like an idea, right? And it's such a good idea that people just, I mean, you get the backing on that.
Yeah.
Like I would never want that, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, that's excruciating.
It's not like they've got shareholders.
Yeah, I know.
Like the game could flop now and they'll just get up and walk away.
Yeah, but dude, I wouldn't.
In theory, anyway.
I mean, I would never.
What?
Oh god. But yeah, but you know what I mean? It's like that's a lot of pressure, dude. Like you know, everybody wants to be successful, right? It'd be cool to have a good idea, and you know, but it's not. I just don't want that good of an idea, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's rough, dude. It's like the guy that created Minecraft, you know? It's like, man. Many people, you know, just counting on you. So many neuros with their opinions.
Welcome to XBC.
Hey, what's up, Philbert? Thanks, man. 13-month resub. Big hype to you, sir. Playing Farming Simulator in real life. I was like, they made a game out of my life. It's weird. I was looking at, I was watching somebody play that, and it was
Play what, sorry?
Farming Simulator 2020.
Oh.
Yeah, like you gotta
There's
like.
so many of those simulator games now, aren't there?
Yeah, this one looks legit though. Like you really gotta like. I mean, make money and you get like better equipment and you farm different things and like you go through the whole labor of farming and stuff.
Right.
Interesting. You can see like there was a lot of content in it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to pretend to be a farmer, then why not? Maybe it could be a little side hustle for all those farmers out there, just giving up an advice forum.
Do what now?
You could do like an advice forum.
Uh-huh.
And people could pay you to give them farming advice. Like if you're an actual farmer.
Oh, right. There you go. Oh shit.
So I didn't hear you properly when you told me what this ship was for.
Oh, yeah, so, you know, this last month we did Expanse themed ships, right?
Oh yeah.
Have to be an actual replica, it just has to kind of have the all style, I guess, kind of the verse. So I'm building a starter CB that has modular cargo system. So this is a clip, 320k cargo system. Pilot, dock. It's still a prototype, but you pilot and dock it into here, and you can have up to 6 of them on this thing. So it's like a really mini bayonet, basically. And oh, you don't even know the bayonet.
I do. I
Oh,
saw it.
okay, cool. So it's
You showed me before.
yeah. So it's just essentially it's a starter CB, like a solo, maybe 2-man starter CB. I mean, it's got.
They got bigger than I remember.
It's not that big. It's long, but it doesn't have a lot of. You know, you look at. Hold on. So compare it to like the Space here, right? Yeah, see, it's not bad. A little longer, but it doesn't have nearly the amount of. Because essentially, all the interior is going to be in the front. So this is going to be like all of the real estate. Interiors and all your basic here. Then it's got 2 cargo systems, full 320 cargo system. Oh, maybe not. But it's a 320 cargo system, actually. For your input and output, basically, for your production. And then you can pull from the other clips once you get them. And then, because it's 3 wide, I had the idea where I'm going to make a module that's basically 3 clips put together. And I could make modules like the production of the card to fit this as well, kind of like I did with the bayonet. But and yeah, I mean, it's a way to kind of trick CPU and get into something cheaply. All these thrusters are going to be converted, I think, to the smaller ones, and then because they're 2x2, you can just replace them with a thruster, and then I won't include this in the end. I like the look of it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna fit the MRE. I mean, it probably could. See if that looks stupid or not. Fuck this thing. Damn it! I'm so sick of these bots on YouTube, dude. It's so annoying. Like, I honestly want to stop streaming on YouTube.
What is that?
I keep getting these stupid bots that are like porn bots on.
No. I never get those. What? It's like the worst porn advert ever.
I know, it's really bad.
What is that even selling?
I don't know. Online strips. Not funny.
You can't really strip with clothing, can you?
I mean, I guess you start with clothing.
Okay.
The idea is.
I'm gonna strip with cardboard. Or paint stripper. Maybe it's just a hardware shop that's choosing a new approach.
Well, it's obviously like different languages been converted, right?
Ah.
But yeah, no, that's gonna be too. Plus, I kind of want to adopt this thing.
It clips the little pod, isn't it?
This little guy here. Well, yeah, I've made other clips.
Okay.
Kind of made this look like. But yeah, so you know, at the end of the day, you can have up to 8 full cargo systems on the thing. And
That's a lot.
yeah, I think so, right? For a starter, to kind of progress, you know, mid game with it, and you know, you can obviously, I'm not gonna have like a hangar or anything, but obviously like park. You know, I just think it's cool to have a hangar, but at the end of the day, like, it's the real function of a hangar, you know, other than RP. I mean, are you repairing manually under protection that much that you would really need it? You know what I mean? I just don't think. At the end of the day, I think stop and get base and just. Hangar module, you couldn't actually, sadly, because you can't dock things that are docked to things. It'd be great if you could, like, oh dude, if you could dock to docking. You're not getting into what I want. I'm gonna stop doing that, guys. We're not wishing anymore. I have no more wishes. Yeah, it sucks, dude. Like, it would be really cool if that. Just recently, we got, docking. It didn't used to be the case that you could dock CVs to CVs, or, what are the other things? SVs to HVs, HVs to SVs. It would only be that you could dock, like, the small block stuff to the CVs. Just recently, we got, and I highly doubt they're gonna relive. They're gonna like. Wasn't it that like the dev that did that? Isn't there?
I don't know. Don't really keep up with it anymore.
I don't know. But yeah, dude, we gotta do some, like, do you do any planetary mining?
Yeah, I did a little bit around Lyra, I think it is. One of
Is that
those.
worth anything? Profit wise?
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, like doing what, like surface nodes and stuff?
No, just with the
Oh, with the
prospector. I
prospector.
haven't done any
Oh,
other.
you haven't done. Well, you haven't used like the rock or whatever.
No, I've got a prospector. Why would I use the rock?
Well, I just think it'd be fun to just ride around a couple of rocks, drop you guys off, you guys go vroom vroom, mine, come back, you know?
Yeah.
Cooperative thing, you know? It could be fun.
Yeah, it could be. It could
Ah.
be. I don't know. Is there a vehicle that can fit more than one rock in it though? Because I know the
Yeah.
Cutlass can fit one in, but
The Mercury Star Runner.
for real?
Real for real. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
easy.
I think now that scanning is a lot more simple and widely available, that is definitely more viable because the Star Runner can be going around scanning for clusters of rocks rather than just sitting around doing nothing. I mean, I suppose you could just land it, park it, lock it up, and then two of you go off mining and then come back and get back in it, but then you're kind of leaving a ship to I don't know, just get blown up for shits and giggles. I think the Van Halen belt seems to be the safest option because it's quite difficult to scan people down because you could be anywhere. It's a very large area.
Oh, so I mean, there's people like actively doing it.
What, looking for ships to blow up?
Uh-huh.
Of course there is, because you can. I mean, I'm only going off of what I see in YouTube stuff. I haven't had anyone try and kill me yet, but I've only been playing a few days.
I guess that's part of it, though. I mean, it gives you the reason to have like the, you know, the escort, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I mean, I definitely would like to go out in the mole. And now that it seems to be a little bit more viable, I think mining things like Quantanium in the mole is apparently pretty profitable, because you can get a lot fairly quickly. I don't know whether it's any more stable. I also noticed that you do find clusters of rocks now, more often. Yeah, like sometimes you come across sort of 4 or 5 asteroids in a bunch.
Is package delivery good for money?
It's good. I think it's good for early game money. Like,
oh, so you don't think it's a viable thing to do, make money in the game right now?
I don't know. I don't know enough about it really. I think so. The high end, as far as I remember, most of the package delivery ones are like 8,000, and you have to pick up or drop off from 3 points. So you either have to pick up 3 packages and drop them at one place, or pick up 3 packages from one place and drop them at 3 others. So you're having to visit 4 different sites for 8,000.
Is that your dream, man?
Sorry?
Neil dreams big, man. Neil said his dream is to be this guy in.
I mean, yeah. I think you could potentially make money if you can chain them together properly. And you get lucky.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I think that obviously, you know, if you get something that has some real cargo capability, like even the Cutlass or like, you know, Freelancer.
I don't think package delivery missions are where money's at. I think if you're going to make money, you get it through transporting cargo.
Oh, I got you.
So buying from one place, shipping it somewhere else, and dropping it off.
Because you have the, Neil, you have the, what do you have? You have the Titan or something.
It seems like some of the basic combat missions are pretty viable now, but I don't know.
Combat mission?
Yeah, so there's a few like simple combat missions. I've seen a few people mention there's a particular mission where you have to just go somewhere, blow up a couple of satellites and come back. They're like, oh, these are really profitable, but I haven't seen them come up anywhere in my thing. So I don't know. I don't know if there's a problem with those or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to start. It's a good way to get a feel of the controls. I definitely need to stream.
I know that there's now a bunch of missions that you have to do to, like, there'll be kind of introduction missions. So in order to get, for example, the UPS missions, there's the first mission that you can take is a specific mission, and it's like, oh, you need to go here, pick this up, and bring it back, so that we can assess your abilities. And there's one of those for each of the, like, the bounty hunters. There's one that you have to go and do. It's like a simple one you can go and do so you get the hang of it, and then that opens up all the rest of the missions.
I mean, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's just open like an Uber Eats down here. You can just, like, in real life, deliver. I'll share your dream. It'd be great. I can imagine. I'm like, oh my god, just trying to find people. I live over there, like by the tree next to that. You know that really fucked up cat that like runs on that road? Yeah, like next. Yeah, dude. Dude. Yeah, thing. I'm kind of. When you getting back into this game?
Which game?
This one, the one I'm playing. The.
It's not a game.
What?
It's not a game.
Alright. That's harsh.
It had its chance. It blew it. I'm done.
Name a game more of a game than this game.
I don't know. Let me just
This genre.
pluck one at rat. What? Don't.
Yeah,
You
can't
always do that.
compare it to a AAA game. I mean, compare it to any other game that's
In this genre. What genre is it?
open world, survival thing.
Are there any other games like Empyrion?
Yeah. Well, dude. I would put a bunch of the games in the same. I'd put No Man's Sky in it. I'd put Space Engineers. I'd put Starship Evo. I'd put
Okay, all of those.
Interstellar Rift. I'd put.
All of those.
Yeah, 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, all of those are
Daisy.
better.
Shut up. Whatever. Come on. Don't that's bullshit. Why? Tell me why. Gotta back it up.
The building's fine. The building's great. The game's pointless.
Oh, okay. So as opposed to Space Engineers game, or really, come on, dude. This has the most complete game. It's just they went so big that they couldn't catch up with themselves. They dreamed big, and then they realized they fucked themselves. But you gotta give them props for dreaming big, man.
Maybe. I can't get past the appalling combat.
You gotta think for combat, don't you? But I mean, I feel like okay, so
Yeah, but the thing is, right? Most of the game hinges, like most of the things to do in the game are to do with combat, right? But that is most of the gameplay loop for the game, and yet it's still awful.
Oh no, listen, I'm with you, dude. I think that it sucks because I think, you know, I've said this a million times. This is the best building game there is, but it could also win in that if they just actually like did something with it. Like if they actually like worked on the combat and it was good.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like they you know what I mean? Like if it was good, and it would be so much fun to go hit POIs and mess with the different factions and do it. Like it would be
Yeah.
so much more immersive. Like I feel like that would be its second big win that no other game like this kind of has.
Yeah, I'd agree. So they make you. So they say, oh, we'll give you all these great tools to build these great ships, but then 90% of everything you've got to do is not in a ship. So
You're not wrong.
why have I just built this incredible ship that could do everything? And then I get to the POI, I blow up 3 turrets outside the POI, and I'm like, okay, what now? Oh, I've got to get out, and I've got to send my squishy little body into this meat grinder that is this POI.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, that in a nutshell, that's my issue with the game. Like, it's
true. It's true.
that
Like space combat.
They've spent enormous resources in time and effort to get certain parts of the game working, which have no relevance to the actual game loop. Like now they're talking about, oh look, we've made water special. Who cares? What? Why? You've made water special, but I still can't set a route in the star map.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Like-
see, that's what bothers me, dude. Like, really? Like, that, okay, you know what? Yeah, that's what upsets me about the whole Ripple thing. It's like, dude, nobody asked for that. Like, absolutely nobody even had that. I don't think anybody had that on their mind. Like, dude, you know, the water could be better. The water could really be better. They should really, you know, I mean, it shouldn't be the most important thing. They need to fix that. That water thing.
I mean,
Very
probably
unimmersive.
a whole bunch of people on the official forums just looking at that statement going, huh? Like, I don't get it. Like, what just happened? We've been giving them feedback for 5 years, and that's what they got out of it. That was the take they had. Was, oh, people think we should have better water.
Oh, this hurts, man. We should. It's true, though, dude. It's true.
Oh well.
You gotta love it, man.
I had a lot of fun playing it, and I put a lot of time in it, and you know I got a couple of thousand hours building ships for no apparent reason, entering competitions with a whole bunch of people that also have no real reason to build ships. So, you know, it was fun. And look, I got to play the game with Obsidian, which, let me tell you, is very entertaining.
Oh, yeah, man.
Everybody should do that at least once.
This is what we got, man. You know, it's like, this is the most complete experience you're gonna get.
That doesn't make it good.
No, but it, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, what are we gonna do? I'm not going back to Call of Duty.
It's like someone handing you a cup of mud and going, "This is the best coffee on the island." You're like, "Okay, I should drink it then, right?"
Fucking right. What? Hell yeah. Wait, is that a question?
But wouldn't you just drink something else,
Oh,
like
fuck
you know,
yeah.
clean water?
Eh. Hey, Pretorius, what's up, man? Dude, if it's called coffee, then that's...
All right, I'm gonna put some bird seed in a packet and send it to you in a coffee packet and see what happens.
I will grind that shit.
It's just... I think the difficult thing for a lot of games is that, for example, if everybody from Empyrion suddenly decided that they were going to put the same amount of time and money into Starship Evo, for example, it would be such a huge boost to that player base that potentially that game could get a lot better.
Right.
But it won't happen because people don't want to learn a new game.
So what do you think about that game?
I've told you my experience with that game. It wasn't good.
No? But okay, no, so granted.
Look, if I could actually play it for more, I think it took me 8 minutes to leave the game, which, granted, is a record for me.
Right.
I think from your reaction, there's a lot of potential in it. But I need more than just building. Yeah, there's got to be something else to do.
No, and there is. I mean, well, they are working on it. There is development of POIs and of AI and all that. So that's all a part of it. So it's not that it's gonna be a space engineer situation. They are actively working.
That's pretty good, Neil. 30 seconds. There's been a few games like that where I've got sort of 5 minutes into the tutorial. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, dude, I didn't get past the character creation on RuneScape. Yeah. No, I don't know. I'm in a weird place right now, game-wise. Like, I really am. Like, I played that game Friday, that State of Decay 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I hated it.
So what did you hate about it? Because I didn't hate it. I just didn't really click with it. But then I only played it for probably about the same time as you did, to be honest. A couple of hours.
So, see, this is the thing. I love the combat. I thought it was great. I love the idea of it. I love the, the idea of going and finding things, gathering, doing all that stuff. So, very similar to Scum, right? But just on a more arcade level. And I was with it up until I realized that I could not progress in the game unless my hand was held by the game to go do each of these things in sequence to simulate me surviving some stupid story. And I was like, bro, seriously? So I have to go do this thing and then do this thing. I hate mission gates, dude. Like, I don't know, man. It's not an open world game. It's not a, and I guess that's not what it's supposed to be, but it just, I don't know. It just,
I mean, a lot of games have moved to mission gates in lieu of a tutorial now. So they don't give you a tutorial. They just, the first few missions are how they teach you how to play the game and all the different mechanics.
Oh no, this was how it was. No, I went through all that. So I went through that initial thing, and I swallowed it, and I went through it, and I didn't like it, but I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna get past this. I'm gonna be able to do whatever the hell I want. So you should do this. And it's like, no, fuck you, I'm not gonna do it. No, you gotta do this. It's like, wait, what? I can't go do this? No, you can, but it's not really gonna matter. You should go do this right now. Yeah, alright, well, this was fun. Sorry. I don't know, dude. If I'm playing a survival game, a game where I have to be strategic in my survival, and everybody deems survival differently and what they would do, and how they would operate in that situation. And if you force everybody to act one way in that situation, that's ridiculous. That's stupid. People do things differently. People value things differently in games. me valuing the box of loot I have would be different than you valuing it. Maybe you don't care about it. Maybe it's like, well, whatever, I don't need that stuff right now. I just need what I need to survive. Whereas like, oh, I need things for the next 6 months in case whatever. We all do things differently in the survival situation. So why is a game forcing me to do it one way? It's irritating.
Yeah.
It takes the fun out of survival. And you know, that, I mean, so that's why games like Empyrion are great. Is like you could literally play the game any way you want to play it. People play this game a million different ways. You see it on the server every season. That's what's great about it. Don't tell me how to look at it, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's like nothing irritates me more. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
7 days is great for that.
but so yeah, I'm just trying to decide whether or not it's possible to make a game without any missions or anything like that. Or missions is a bit of a weird way of saying it, but like any way of leading you in a particular direction.
Well, there's definitely no ending. That's always the problem, right? There's no conceivable ending. I think Subnautica was really great for most of the game. I was really excited about it, and I was really taken back by how beautiful the whole game was and how everything was just.
But you bounced right off the ending.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do it. Like once I got to that, once I got to where I realized that I wasn't gonna see my base again, and I was just gonna be in the Cyclops, and then the Cyclops just is gonna serve a remedial mission until I get this, and then it's gonna be over. It, you know, the problem is, right? You work really hard to learn a game for like the first quarter of the game. And then about the middle of the game, you start to understand, and you go, you know what? I this is how I'm gonna do things. This is how efficient I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna organize things. You have plans in your head. I'm gonna gather all these things. I'm gonna have resources and reserves. I'm gonna grow things in my base. I'm gonna blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And by the time you're dreaming of that, you're now 3/4 of the way done. And in that game, you know, there's an ending, and it's like, you know, you don't really get that satisfaction unless you purposely avoid storyline. But then you're doing that just for, you know, because you know there's an ending. It's like somebody telling you the server's gonna wipe in a week. Like, okay, you know, I could sit here and play house for another month, but what's the point? You know, I could just finish.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what upsets me.
I think, interestingly, that's why games like Rust and Icarus are doing. I expect Icarus to do well because of this session-based thing. So, like, you've got total freedom, but it's session-based.
Because you need
So
you need an ending. You need a way to, and Rust is, oddly enough, Rust does it the best. I mean, it's bizarre how you keep wanting to start over and you know, build up and do these different things.
Well, because that's starting is a big part of the game. That's like that's the hard bit. The same way in Empyrion, like it gets to a point where you've got so much of everything everywhere. You're then just trying to wander around looking for ways to essentially lose things so that you can go and get them again.
Right.
And I think a lot of games have that.
Yeah, and you don't even experience the entire game usually in Rust. Like, usually you're only, you know, depending on your path and what's important, like, you might only really discover, you know, like, I haven't even been underwater yet to even experience any of that.
Right.
So, you know, there's a lot of the game that you're just not really seeing, and, you know, but you may see it the next time. And I think they're genius how they do it, and they're still in development. I mean, they're still putting new stuff out all the time. They just came out with the submarine thing and the, you know, the underwater POIs and the camper vans. There's all these ridiculous things, but it's awesome. It's like you're constantly getting fresh content that you know, is constantly being balanced against the rest of the game. You know, but the actual game itself was meticulously built for years and years. You know, it's like it's been what 8 years or whatever in development. So 6 of those years have been just them building this game from the ground up and making sure everything works. Then you get all the cool shit in the last 2 or 3 years of development. Whereas in Empyrion, you know, it started off, of course, very, very basic, very rough, very basic assets and stuff. And, you know, we got planets, and then, you know, you got orbit, and then you got, you know, warping, you got all these different things, and, you know, but they never, they went too big. And then we got, you know, infinite solar system without any purpose.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to add purpose, and it's like, well, you're trying to, you know, it's the same way I build. You know, I build for function, right? So when I build something, I build all the function in it first. Usually, I'm like, okay, I know I need this much for production, I need this much for cargo, I need this much. Okay, now I'm gonna build a ship around it, or I'm gonna build a base around it. But there's people that will build a huge base, and then they'll have all this room inside, and it's like they're trying to figure out what to put in it. So I'm gonna have really, really big hallways, you know, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's how they built the game. That's literally how they built the game. And you know, they put the cherry on top when they did the infinite solar system thing, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that we can go eons and eons away and that, but it's just I wish there was something different in this stratosphere of the galaxy versus the stratosphere. But really, it's just other than like a couple of the. So I'm hopeful, but I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows? They might. You know, I mean, all it would take was for them to bring in a couple fresh developers. Big, you know, big dreams and shit, and dude, it'd be amazing.
I personally, I think the biggest issue with Empyrion has always been its developers.
Well, it's the management of it. But yeah, the developers for sure, but there's no management. There's nobody.
Yeah, but it's more for me. It's more that they've held on so tight to what they think they want they want the game to be, that they haven't allowed it to develop. Like the whole point of early access is that you listen to the people playing it, right? I don't think they've listened to the people playing it at all.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think they're appeasing the people. I'm pretty sure they know what they want, but they also probably know they can't achieve what they want. And I think that's the stalemate we're in.
Yeah.
I think a long time ago they realized they can't do what they wanted to do. Or I don't know, maybe they're waiting for some technology that they don't have. Who knows? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if they're waiting for something and it's like we don't have this thing and we can't finish it until we get this thing.
But they haven't put any. They've made it really difficult for people playing the game to make any kind of change. So the star map's a good example, right? They could have given people the tools to create maps, so and generate universes to their own needs. So instead of just going, here's 1,000 systems every time you generate a map, they could have just had sliders. They could have had tick boxes for different types of stars, different factions. You could have said, okay, in this playthrough, I don't want to have the Zirax. Right? And you just click a tick box, it removes the Zirax from the generation, and off you go. So it means that every time you play the game, it's different. But the system is so large and so cumbersome that every time you hit generate, you essentially get the same stuff, just in different places. So the game plays the same. That would have been something I'm no game developer, but it seems to me that would have been reasonably straightforward because it's just configs. You're doing a little bit of UI work. You need to be able to give people a way of moving it. But that's it. But they didn't do that because they're scared that people will change their game. Or make the game somehow different from what they want it to be.
I don't know. We've had a million conversations about this too, and it's like the problem I have is I have no idea what their ambition is. That's my problem.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they want to achieve with this game. Like I don't get, I don't. There's no evidence in any direction, and that's what's frustrating. Like I don't think they're trying to make money. If they are, then they have no idea what they're doing. If they're trying to make money, they're completely clueless as to how to do that because there's so many things they could be doing, easy things that would generate so many more people to play this game, buy the game.
Right.
So they're not doing that. So it's a labor of love. It's a passion they have, but they don't seem very, because they're not engaged in the community. They're not engaged in feedback really. They're annoyed by it. They're, so it's like I don't understand. I just wish I could have 10 minutes with you. Just to know, like, whatever it is, like, I just want to know what the hell they want. What are they trying to do?
I don't need 10 minutes. I need like 5 seconds just to give one of them a good slap.
I just want to know, man. I want to know what it is. Is it like, are they getting some kind of kickback from Steam just by being on Steam or something? Like what is it? Like, is there some bill that it's paying? Like what I
expect that they, as they always wanted to do, they're making the game for themselves.
No, they don't play the game. See, that's it. They don't play the game, dude.
How do you know that?
I know that there's no way they play this game. You're telling me they play this game and there's so many things that are broken that could probably be fixed and they're...
No, I don't mean... Okay, I mean that they're making the game because they want to make a game... Like, they want to complete the vision that they had. Right? They're not making the game to be a good game that everyone wants to play. They're making the game because they had an idea and they want to see it through to completion.
That's... Well, then, honestly, I gotta respect them then. If that's the case, if what you're saying is the case, then that's kind of nuts, dude. Because they've got some serious.
Yeah, but the difficulty with that is that they're not on any kind of timeline. They don't owe anybody anything. They've got enough money in the bank to be able. They do it part time. Most of them have got jobs, regular jobs that they do. So this is a side project. This is, it's. I would look at them more as people that are creating some amazing mod for, Skyrim that want to see it through to completion. They probably don't play Skyrim anymore, but they still want to make the mod because they had this really great idea, which is fine, but it's not a good development strategy. If you want to make a game, then make the game. But I don't know. As I said, I've had my money's worth. I'm happy with what I had. I don't feel the need to continue.
So, I don't know. You excited about Icarus? I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I've only played one of the betas. I think it's going to be hard, and it probably won't be quite what I want. However, I do think it will be good.
Do you think there's ever going to be a game out there?
Us or me?
Fair. Well, no, honestly, I think I'm just as picky as you are.
Look, I've played games that are very much that I've put a lot of time into and that I've had a really good time playing which probably are objectively bad games. Fallout 4 is a great example. I love that game. It was, not good in many ways, but I had a lot of fun. I modded it loads. I was able to tweak it exactly how I wanted to play it and do the things that I wanted to do in it. Yeah. I mean, for all BioWare's failings, that ability, the fact that they let people mod their games so freely is not to be underestimated.
I don't.
You'd think that, but some people are, and what's interesting is that BioWare have an IP which is vastly more valuable than something like Empyrion, yet they are still very willing to let people mess with it.
I don't know. I think that the early access.
I'm sick of early access games.
I am too, but what's the alternative?
I would like games to not be available for sale until they're finished.
Okay, so how's that ever gonna happen?
Oh,
And
make a game
Would you want that?
and then release it.
Really? You would really want that? You would really want somebody to work on a game? Like, okay, so you remember H1Z1?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get something out
Well-
of touch that's gonna be a huge problem. They got no feedback from anybody. See, nobody's gonna just make a. I mean, okay, you know
Wait,
what?
well,
Probably the
yeah, but-
biggest, the biggest example of what you're saying. Well, one of the most successful early access games I think was Astroneer, right? And I think they did a really good job. They quickly. It was only like a
they
year,
did,
right?
but okay, so there's a big difference between people that are putting games out early access and using the system as it was intended, right? There are a few companies that do that. There are a whole bunch of people that are using early access as a way to fund developing their game. So they put it out in early access, it's out, people buy it, people play it. There's very little way of people giving feedback. The feedback that they do give is not really taken into account. The game just gets developed and then it's released. It's usually released when that initial flood of early access money finally runs out and they go, oh shit, we haven't got any money. We better release the game. I'm looking at you, Empyrion. There are a few companies that did it well, but not as many as you might hope.
No, listen, I think it's flawed, but I think
I think for me the worrying bit is that there are so many games that are on early access.
well, they found a way to make money faster in gaming. They're never going back. It's either micro transactions or it's access. It's never, hey, let's work on a game for 5 years and release it. It's never that. It's never gonna happen. You know, like, it's just not conceivable. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of games that do that and come out, and I guess I don't know, maybe it's a genre thing or something. You know, you look at like Call of Duty, right? They come out with a new Call of Duty, new Battlefield all the time, stuff like that, right? So those are the games that are obviously big machines, you know.
Yeah.
They're able to crank those things out quick enough to where whatever new innovative thing they do is trend. that's fine. But you know, these new concept games and survival games and cash grab games and all these other games. No matter what, they're all making money. But well, okay. So you know that game that we played for a little while, that Journey of Life game.
Yeah.
So I was reading the forums and
A little while's pushing it.
Well, sure, but I actually read it, and the developer was like, "Stop doing it because I didn't wasn't making any money. I had to go get a real job, but I'd love to continue doing it, but I can't. Blah blah blah." So he's all active in his forums saying how he wants to finish. And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. That's a real thing, I mean.
Okay, but the problem for me with that whole scenario is that it's dishonest.
Tell me more.
Well, early access implies that it's early access to a game that will finish. Right? So if you then don't complete it, or it takes forever to complete and you never get around to completing it or whatever, that's dishonest.
Well, I don't know. So what do you consider complete? I mean, the game is, you pay $10, $15 for the game. You can go do all these things. See, this is the thing with these games is that, completion is kind of, if you were to have a roadmap and say, we're going to do this, this, and this, and eventually we're going to allow you to do this and be able to do this, then sure, if they don't meet those requirements, then yeah, I would be upset. Or there's games that go, well, if we end up getting this much funding, we'll try to do this and later, but for now we're working on this. So I respect those developers, right? Because they have a clear path and they're... And then, there's the guys that are like, hey, we're just building this thing from scratch and I think there's so many different ways that they're doing it now that it's kind of hard to... it's kind of, what I mean? It's kind of hard to paint that streak across everybody.
Look, I don't think most AAA games come out complete anymore. So, but that's what I want. I want a game to be finished. I want you to, if you're going to charge me $50 or $60 for a game, then it needs to be finished.
Oh,
everything I try and do in the game needs to work as intended.
I'm paying top money for a game.
But then, in my view, if you're developing a game, you're going to sell it for $30, then just don't make the game so big.
So, like, what happened to like Cyberpunk? For instance? That game was anticipated for forever, right?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Yeah. Which wasn't finished.
Why?
And they rushed it out the door.
What was the
Well, what was the pressure? I would expect probably boardroom pressure.
Yeah, but see, so this is what I don't get. It's like
That's why we have Battlefield 2042, which is in a complete mess, because they're like, you've got to get it out. We're losing money. We need to get out because people are in lockdown, and we want people to play our game. We want people to buy money. They've got nothing else to spend their money on. So get it out now while they still don't have anything to spend money on, so that they can spend it all on microtransactions. So they just whack it out the door. It's not finished in any way, but they'll start making money because people don't have anything better to do.
Yeah, but it's I guess I don't know. I mean, so do you think like that's all? It's that initial purchase that people are looking for? Are they looking for? Because it doesn't Cyberpunk have like transactions?
Microtransactions? I actually don't remember. I don't remember there being any.
Because I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't have a model. Like you look at, we'll bring back Rust. Up at that.
I don't know whether they do as good a job as you think.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a bit skeptical of that. Because just looking at the cash shop now, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff in there which you can buy, which is borderline pay to win.
Oh, tell me.
So you've got the Nomad suit, which is essentially a camouflage suit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy money. It's not like, it's not a few bucks for a skin. It's what, $15, which is half the price of the game for a skin. You don't think that's a little bit
I mean,
little bit
it
off?
looked really cool, Nero, so I had to get it.
Yeah,
I'm not
it
even
did look
playing
really
the
cool.
game. I had to get it.
Right? But that's my issue with it. Is it looks great.
Yeah.
But why, if it looks great, fine. But why are you charging so much money for it? That's not cool.
Well, you notice they have them permanent now. So, it's just like on a whim. Have it now, it's like there's a permanent shop.
Well, yeah, because they've realised just how much freaking money you can make doing it. The sofa, isn't that like one of the most sought after things they could get? People are always asking when it's going to come back on a Twitch drop.
What?
Oh no, the sofa, the couch.
Oh, couch.
Yeah. And everyone's like, when's it coming back? Is it ever going to be available on Twitch drops again? No, but they will sell it to you for $15. I mean, if that's not a cash grab, then I don't know what is, man.
Yeah, I mean, granted, but for me, right? They're constantly developing that game. They're constantly coming out with new content. The game is really well done. It's really good. So it's like I don't feel that bad supporting a game like that, development like that. I really don't. I mean, I feel like, if I think it's cool and if this is how they're making their money, like how many new people are playing Rust? I'm sure people buy Rust all the time, but I'm sure like they're making most of their revenue on microtransactions, cosmetic stuff. And, if it keeps them developing, like, I don't know, I'm kind of good with it.
Look, I have a very specific view of what is okay as far as microtransactions go.
Well, if it's cosmetic, so for me, like the whole instrument thing, the the beach bullshit, all that stuff, like your underwear could be like a whatever, you could have a beach towel instead of a sleeping bag. Like, I think all that's brilliant. I think that's genius. Like, I'm totally fine with all that. Some of the stuff I have, some of the stuff I care about. Having the door with the slot, having some of that stuff, it's a little questionable. I can go like, oh, okay, that's a bit of an advantage for somebody that could just purchase a door or do certain things or whatever, but it's still debatable. You know what I mean? Like, it's not outright like Combat Arms just buying a bunch of stuff to be elite. Like, it's not that, but I don't know. The camouflage thing is a fair argument, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still, I just, just because I respect the development of that game, because I played it when it was Legacy. I played it before this Rust. Been
Look,
with that game since. And
Rust can get away with a lot more because they have a game that works. For the most part, you occasionally come across a small bug or something doesn't quite fit right, but for the most part, it works as intended. Right? They've given a lot of tools to people. people can run modded servers. They can run their own servers. You don't have to pay some server provider. You can run your own server. You can do all of that, right?
Yep.
So, fair enough. They get a lot of leeway for that. There are a whole bunch of other people that don't do any of that.
Right. No, totally. And, you know, and that, I think that's the difference. I think, you know, if you were to ask me, you know, I think Rust would probably be my answer. Rust, 7 Days to Die, Astroneer. Yeah, I feel like from the games that I've played and known, like, I think those are probably the 3 most successful early been a part of.
But even 7 Days to Die, it's an amazing game, right? I love it.
Well worth the amount.
I haven't actually played that much of it by comparison to a lot of people. It's certainly in this chat, I'm sure. Because I stopped myself because I'm thinking if I play it, I won't want to play it when it's finished. Which is the problem that you have. They could finish that game tomorrow and you still wouldn't be that interested. So
yeah, I mean,
what
that's
happens
true.
then?
Like, I don't know if I would play it again if they said we're done. Like, maybe one more time?
So what was the point of that? You played a half-finished game for years and years, and then when they do finally get it released and finished, it's too late. You've played it all. And that's the same for so many of these early access games. The early access is too long. I'm totally fine with early access. I think the majority of the games that go to early access way too early. They need to be much further along in development before they go to early access.
Oh no, agreed. And there's development, you know, that does that. There's games that, well, like Icarus, right? Like Icarus.
Yeah.
I think Dual Universe did that. But you know, like, you know, they did that, and it was smart. It was like, hey, we're not going to even go there until we've got at least, you know, what we want to get out before, and then we'll include you guys and get feedback from there.
Yeah, they've run what 7 or 8 tight, very focused betas, and it's coming out like in a few weeks.
Right.
That's
I'll be there. I'll be streaming it.
Yeah, I think it'll be, and it probably won't be finished, but it'll be close enough, I think, and that's the important part. That it'll be close enough that what they release is a small focus core gameplay, and then they'll just keep adding to it. And I think that's always the problem with a lot of games, is that they try and get too much done before completion. Like, if your game's really big, just get the core stuff done, especially if you're going to go to early access. Get the bones of it.
Yeah, but see, the problem with that, especially nowadays, is that you really do have to have some kind of a pull for people to even want to. Like, if I see one more Unity survival game where you gotta chop trees and you know, you get like 6 different things to build, like, I've done this. I've played this game 30 times. I've played 30 of these games, and I buy them every fucking time. And it's like, this is the same fucking game again, and I'm not gonna wait fucking 5 years for you to figure something out. That's what happened with Star's End. Everybody's like, oh, this is exciting. Star's End's gonna be amazing. It's like a Western space game, and it's like, yeah, all that Western space stuff, that's later. Right now, here's some Unity assets. It's like, wait, what? Like, this is basically Empyrion in its first year, and I'm like, okay, no, I've done this. Like, I'm not doing this again. And, you know, I look at the development, and it's like, it's just, we're getting a little closer to maybe doing something else here. It's like, alright, well, that's great. You know, like, people have done this journey already. Like, you know, you can't do that. You gotta do something different, man. You gotta bring something unique.
But why is it you still buy survival games? Is it because you're still looking for one that actually has what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I want a game that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, there's no game that just 100% does it right.
Maybe you should just grab Neil, head off into the jungle with a Bowie knife or whatever, and get Neil to hunt you with a stick. I'm sure he'd be well up for that.
I mean, you know, it's interesting. You brought a
Too
thing.
lazy. All right, you can just shout at him or something.
You brought a. You were talking about something. Man. Mining game.
Oh yeah.
That's an interesting thought, right? Like, would be cool. I don't know. Like, I'm definitely, you know, like Green Hell is up there for me. But it just doesn't have nearly enough.
Yeah.
Because you know, there's not that many games.
I
out
think
there.
there's a bunch. So Ark and Rust, I think, would be a good combination.
There's not enough survival games.
No, but there are
weird.
survival games that get a lot of it right.
Yeah, but most of the survival games, they have a crutch. They're like, it's a survival game, but there's zombies. It's a survival game, but there's some weird plague that, whatever. You know what I
But
mean?
then-
It's like I just want to survive.
Yeah.
I want to play with sticks and make things and fucking, you know. And Green Hell does it. It's just very small scale. Scum does a really good job at it, but it's, you know, even Scum, and you know, I'm enjoying Scum for playing and stuff. Yeah, but I'm also seeing where it's going to drizzle off a little bit. You know? Gonna get to that point where, you know, the food thing was the first problem that upset me, was the cooking. I got all excited about how this metabolism thing is so important, all this stuff, and I was just like blown away by that. And then to solve that problem, they didn't really give you very good mechanics.
You just gotta eat any shit you find lying
It's
around,
fucking
essentially.
ridiculous. It's like, man, like it'd be great if we could actually cook and, you know, monitor these. So I mean, there's lots of, you know, like concepts that are great, but actually find a game that all of it is. I think it's nearly impossible. I don't think there's, because we're all different. We all want different things. What I want doesn't. I don't know. I don't think there is a game out there.
Citizen.
Can't build ships.
Yeah.
Build
It,
fucking shit.
yeah.
I
You
love
will,
the ships.
sure.
Though. I love the fucking.
I don't think you need. I don't need to build ships.
You don't need to build ships.
At all.
Well, I
Nah.
guess yeah. I love the ships and stars. That'd be good, but just I want to feel. I miss Guild Wars, dude. I miss going into a game and feeling like I've clocked in, and it's time to get something done. It's time to contribute to the guild. It's time to, you know, whatever it was back then that made you excited about playing that game every day, all day, years. Because that's what I did with Guild Wars. I played that game for years, every day, every fucking day. I was playing that game, and I had something to do. I had purpose. I had, you know what I mean, and I was enjoying it, and I was creating. And there's just it's hard to find that anymore. Man. You got to jump from game to game to get a small bit of that.
All right. I today's mining into the processing.
Yeah, you gotta be satisfied. You gotta be satisfied. Gotta mean something. Gotta have value. And you know, the co-op aspect of it is also a big thing. But you know, like in MMOs, it wasn't even like a requirement. Like sometimes you do some guild things, sometimes solo things, and kind of jump back and get that satisfaction on both sides of the spectrum. See, that's the thing. MMOs are a really good example. Well, old MMOs are a really good example. And that was the golden era. That gaming genre was the 2000s, the 90s to 2000s. Satisfied. You do so many different things. The community, it economy aspects of it, like there was so much there to do, and it was all there. Like the community created it per se, but it was there, the foundation of all that. And yeah, it was amazing. Did that. Now everything is so divided and spaced out. Lucky if you find a great server that's playing the game you're playing. You know, you get lucky and you find people in Discord like Anvil. You know, you get lucky if you find people that are cool that you can hang out with and stuff. Maybe you can end up playing a game with them. You know, but back then it's like, man, you were part of like a big community playing a game and trading, and you didn't even know most of the people, you know.
Dude, I gotta head out. I gotta go and pick up my kid.
Alright,
I
man.
will catch up with you another time. Good chat.
Yeah, good chat.
Take it easy, mate.
we will have similar conversations like that. But yeah, I got a lot done though. That was good. I think I like this. This is gonna. Yeah. So once we take these out, and I'm debating if I should take out these. Starter. Hey, I very well might do, but got a constructor in here. It's a starter. It's I don't think we need more than one constructor. We might, but what I think we'll do is make a module for that. Cargo system. Here. Conceivably, you could probably. Out of myself? Look at that. Champing it out. Yes, that. Give the OG. Yeah, like what else do you need? Done freaking deal. Done freaking deal for it. And it's not tight. It's not too tight. Like you can still walk around it and do what you got. Alright, yeah. You know, and then obviously you'll have things. So, you know, we gotta get turrets on it, we gotta get some other stuff going on it. I'm happy. I didn't know what I was gonna do at the front here. Well, this will be fun, guys. So hopefully we'll get this done. Then we can look at starting the gonna be it for this stream. Maybe some Star Citizen. You guys have a great night.